Prabhupada is like you are under the mouth of the crocodile. So Maya just caught you. Already you're in the grip of Maya. So as soon as we understand it, so then the main question is devotee asking that this is my situation. I am under the grip of Maya. I am always thinking. I am playing with my body. My senses are, just dragging me to the sense gratification, and because of which I am more into ignorance. So now, please help me. Please enlighten me. Okay, what to do? So this understood. So the question, when you understand, then the answer will become more prominent, more practical, and more clear. What is being answered? So how many feel this question is relevant for? How many feel that? So it seems that maybe थोड़ा बहुत तो माया के ग्रुप में हूँ. How many feel कि थोड़ा बहुत नहीं लग मैं पूरे ही माया के अंदर ही बैठा हूँ. Maya, what is that? Kota Nantra Jao Maya Pishachira Kule. Maya Pishachira Kule. So I'm sleeping on the lap of Maya. Very peacefully. Maya Devi is, she don't have to capture like this. She don't have to work hard. She knows that ये तो मेरा बच्चा है ना. कहाँ जाएगा ये? इसको कृष्ण के पास भागने के लिए उठ भी नहीं रहा है तो आराम से सो रहा है मेरी लैप पे. सोते रहो बेटा. माया किसको पकड़ती है जो भागना जा रहा है ना. अब कोई ये तो भाग ही नहीं रहे तो इधर ही सो रहा है आराम से. Peacefully he is thinking he is the body and he is working very very hard in this material existence, thinking that this is all in all. Anyone has heard about the movie named Matrix? Matrix. Anyone has seen this movie?
तीनों पार्ट देखा था मेरे को याद है.
हमारे टाइम की मूवी, मतलब before I came to Krishna, this was like 1999, 98. So that is like when I was in school. But anyways, that time I hardly could understand. After coming to Krishna consciousness, one devotee told me about this movie, and I told, yeah, I watched this movie, long back. But then he told, I didn't watch again this movie, but then he told something by which I realized, oh wow, this movie can make so much sense to the entire Krishna consciousness process. Right? Because this movie actually shows that how there are people who are actually sleeping somewhere else. They have been born and they're sleeping somewhere else, but they have been programmed to think that they're in another world. Right? That there certain programs are going on. Just like simple like virtual reality. Nowadays, if you say that, you put like that, so you're thinking that you're in another world. What is that? Metaverse, right? Metaverse. So you're made to think you're somewhere else. So actually, this is our situation. We are somewhere. We are actually servant of Krishna, but we are now made to think that you are part of this material world and this life is on. So those who are very peacefully engaged in this material world and thinking that this life is all in all, they are fully into Maya. So this is called as false identification. You understand false identification? Right? And metaverse, for example. Already actually this body is false identification. Or sleep. Sleep is what? Another false identification. Sleep analogy is given, but now I am giving analogy which may not be in the Shastra. Dream analogy is always given in Shastras. But another analogy which you can see that this is open-eyed dream. While eyes are open, we put this, what is it? VR. We put this VR glasses. And then you enter into metaverse. Another universe which is like completely virtual. You are thinking this is all and all. And when we get absorbed there only, fully. So like that. And you can imagine, suppose some person is for 3 days he is living in metaverse, suppose. What will happen to his body? Because he's not eating, no? He is eating maybe, but he is just imagining he is eating. So how much he will become big? Same as our situation. Right? We are a spirit soul. We are not feeding ourselves. Right? We are feeding this body, which is not we. You understand? So how much weak we become when we don't tune in to our real consciousness of being servant of Krishna. Right? So it's so very important to understand that, and that we are Similarly, someone is sleeping for 3 days, suppose. And सपने में हो सकता है वो feast खा रहा हो, but his body will become completely weak. So like that. Okay, so this is very important that we don't remain in this. So these are the activities of Maya. And since Maya is also great agent of the Lord, it is indirectly the action of the Lord. The Lord is merciful. If anyone wants to forget Him and enjoy this material world, He gives him full facility. Not directly, but through the agency of His material potency. Therefore, since the material potency is the Lord's energy, indirectly it is Lord who gives the facility to forget Him. Devahuti therefore said, "My engagement in self-realization was also due to you. Now, kindly get me free from this entanglement." So, point is that we ourselves don't have capability to come out of this, this whole material engagement also, because it is Krishna's Maya. Krishna's Maya cannot be removed by us. We cannot remove this. We can understand. If we understand, then we can take a step. What is the step? What is the step? Surrender to Krishna. Call out Krishna. Krishna's help. Right now we are telling to Krishna, Krishna, I want to be in Maya. And that's why Krishna says, okay, you remain in Maya. Right? You're so busy, you want to be in Maya. But when we turn to Krishna and say, Krishna, I want to now come out of the Maya. So Krishna gives remembrance, forgetfulness, and and knowledge. Right? So Krishna will give the knowledge. Krishna will tell you that okay. Krishna will give you remembrance. Okay, now the Maya's curtain is removed. Like that. So we don't understand Krishna can do all those things. That's why Prabhupada's father saying, by the grace of the Lord, one is allowed to enjoy this material world, but when one is disgusted with material enjoyment and is frustrated, and when one sincerely surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord, then the Lord is so kind that He frees one from entanglement. Clear? So that means only when we are very clear that no, I am in Maya, I want to come out of it, and we turn to Krishna and we surrender to Krishna. When one is disgusted with material enjoyment and is frustrated, see, Prabhupada is using these two words, disgusted and frustrated. So if we are relishing Maya, then we cannot turn to Krishna, right? The thinking is nice. इधर भी अच्छा ही लग रहा है, संसार लगी तो भालो. Thinking that the samsara is nice, but the word is not so bad. I thought it would be bad. It's okay. Okay, there may be some wars going on. Maybe some missile may fall on my head today, but it's okay. And it's wonderful. Maybe I may die tomorrow. Maybe today LPG is over. Tomorrow electricity will be gone. Maybe there'll be a lot of difficulty. Maybe some rains will come and heat will come. So many problems, but still it's all right. Samsara lagi to bhalo. Samsara still is bhalo. Everything is okay. This is what a living entity adamant to stay in this material world. Krishna is sending all these calamities for what purpose? For what purpose? Tell that, Prabhu, ये आपका घर नहीं है. Why these wars happening? Why this shortage or any issues? For that matter, anything like rains coming or heat coming or sometimes heavy winter, sometimes heavy summer. Sometimes electricity gone. Sometimes crisis in the mind. Sometimes so many problems. Why constantly problems? To tell us that Prabhu, ये आपका घर नहीं है. निकलो इधर से बाहर. Krishna is indicating, but Jiva is adamant. He will adjust here and there, here and there. You know the story of Praharena Dhananjaya, right? There was one father. He had 7 daughters, and the youngest daughter's husband name was Dhananjaya. Right. So what happened is that once all the 7 son-in-law came to the home, so the father arranged for a nice feast. All of them ate nice feast, and these all son-in-law घर जमाई बाबू बोलते हैं बंगला में, हिंदी में भी बोलते हैं जमाई बाबू अच्छे से उनको खिलाया फीस्ट. उनको लगा तो अच्छा है, यहाँ पर तो भैया ससुराल में अच्छा फीस्ट मिलता है, वेरी गुड. सो दे स्टेड 3 दिन उधर ही रुके. 3 दिन होने के बाद then the फादर-इन-लॉ स्टार्टेड फीलिंग ये लोग इधर ही रुकेंगे क्या? So then उन्होंने feast में स्वीट हटा दिया, नो स्वीट. So राइस दाल सब्जी चपाती, नो स्वीट. So नो स्वीट करते ही 3 लोग चले गए. वो समझ गए कि ये अभी हमको रिस्पेक्ट देना कम कर दिए. Let's leave. But 4 people still felt that it's good. So फिर उन्होंने फिर क्या किया, चपाती सब्जी भी हटा दिया, सिर्फ राइस दाल, 2 आइटम. Only 2 आइटम, राइस और दाल. So then out of 4, other 3 also started feeling कि अभी निकलना चाहिए. They are not giving any respect. So they also left. You know. But then there's one fellow named Dhananjay. This fellow was not leaving on me. He was telling me, no problem, rice dal भी मिलेगा, हम इधर ही adjust करेंगे. So this is a condition shows adamant nature. Then what happened? Then his father's son, that is son, father's son came. That is क्या बोलते हैं उनको? साले साहब, ना? ठीक है, so he came and he brought danda. He came with a danda and he covered this person with a blanket, pat left and right and left and right. And then he ran. And then he ran back to his village. So point is that point the story. Prabhupada tells the story. Praharena Dhananjaya. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given the story. I don't know. Prabhupada quotes for sure the story. So from Bhaktivinoda Thakur or from somewhere else, I don't know. But Prabhupada quotes the story. So this story shows the living entities' adamant nature to adjust in this material world. आप कुछ भी करते रहो, ये करो वो करो, हम नहीं रहेंगे, हम छोड़ेंगे नहीं यहाँ से. So material nature is beating left and right, so that we can become disgusted and frustrated. Right? That's Prabhupada saying. When one is disgusted in material environment and is frustrated, and when one sincerely surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Now, there may be many people who are disgusted and frustrated. What they do? Maybe take to intoxication and maybe suicide. They think that suicide कर देते हैं, अभी बहुत frustration हो रहा है. Yes, intoxication ले लेंगे. But Prabhupada is adding a third thing. Not only one should be disgusted and frustrated, but when one sincerely surrenders unto the Lord. So this is possible only when they come in association of devotees. Then the Lord is so kind that He frees one from entanglement. That means he should turn to Lord. That is what we are supposed to do. We should understand these two things simultaneously. One is the futility of material enjoyment, futility of material world, and second thing is the greatness of Krishna, Krishna's love and affection. So both these things simultaneously has to be cultivated. Anartha nivritti and artha pravritti. So when both these things are cultivated, and then we can really turn to Krishna. Just like the example is given of what is that? On 2 banks there is fire. You heard this example? Recently we are hearing this example. Vishnu is telling this, right? Fire on both the sides.
This Krishna Katha.
Krishna Katha is like a river and we are like elephants. That elephant cannot now go anywhere. So both these things help. One is the cooling shelter of water, and this fire. This fire also, what is that? Seeing this fire in the material world also inspires a person to not go out of the water. You understand? So in that way, we take shelter of Krishna and understand that if I now at one moment I don't take shelter of Krishna, where I'll go? Material world. Material world there is fire. Samsara Davanar. So I don't want to go to material world. So that gives also more impetus to go to Krishna. You understand? Right? And then Krishna gives you anyways lot of love and affection. So in that way, these two things combine together. So Krishna says therefore in Bhagavad Gita, first of all surrender, then I will take charge of you and free you from all reactions of sinful activities. Sinful activities are those activities performed in forgetfulness of our relationship with the Lord. Yeah, so very important, very important. What is the definition of sin? Performed in forgetfulness of relationship. So as soon as forget Krishna, whatever activities we do is called sinful activities. Okay, right? This is a simple definition. Now try to understand. हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं? तो इसलिए प्रभुपाद तुरंत बोलते हैं. In this material world, activities for material enjoyment which are considered to be pious are also sinful. Hare Krishna. ठीक है. पायटी, जिसको पायटी बोलते हैं ना, नहीं थोड़ी सी वो तो फिलोन्थ्रोपिकल अच्छा काम कर रहा है, लोगों को समाज सेवा कर रहा है, इट इज कॉल्ड सिंफुल. कल मैं किससे बात कर रहा था ये? someone I was discussing this. Piety is sin. Huh? Someone was sitting during Prashad and I was discussing. हाँ, okay.
Shangnath Prabhu. Shangnath Prabhu was asking.
Shankanath Prabhu, Prashant Prabhu, and Tanay Prabhu. We were sitting and discussing this, right? So sin is, piety is also
Sinful.
sin. Okay, there's nothing like piety. Okay, for from Krishna, because from this is the from absolute perspective, you know. Because piety also is about material enjoyment. For example, one sometimes gives something in charity to a needy person with a view to getting back the money 4 times increased. Because this is piety, you know. You give some charity, you get more. Giving with the purpose of gaining something is called charity in mode of passion. Everything done here is done in modes of material nature, and therefore all activities but service to the Lord are sinful. Clear? Prabhupada is saying. Prabhupada is making it very clear. Anything which is not service to Krishna is sin. Right? Let me just complete. I'll take questions. Because of sinful activities, we become attracted by illusion of material attachment. Okay. Clear? That means because of what activities? That means what?
Whatever we perform in forgetfulness of Krishna. Forgetting.
More specific. Prabhupada clearly says, what is sin? What is not service to Krishna? So what is sinful act? So because of sinful activities, we become attracted to religion. That means because of
Activities which are not service.
anything which is not service to Krishna, if we do, then we will become attracted to material world. Right? So that's why 24 hours you have to think if you want to really come out of this material world's attraction, which is simply illusion. 24 hours one should be engaged in service. Because as soon as we do that, means those activities are making me bound in this material world. Any verse from Bhagavad Gita which says the same point which I just now spoke. Okay. That is like going back to order. But any activity is not done in service of Krishna is will bound you to this material world. Yagyarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So yagyarthat karmano, one should work for Krishna's pleasure. Anyatra else, what will happen? Lokoyam karma bandhana. You will be bound in this material world. Okay. So this is what Prabhupada is explaining. Right? Because of sinful activities, we become attracted by illusion of material attachment and we think, I am this body. I think of the body as myself and bodily possessions as mine. Devati requested Lord Kapila to free her from that entanglement of false identification and false possession. Okay. Yes, what's your question?
So you told that if someone is doing charity and thinking that I will gain something, some passion. So similarly, we are in material world. Even if we are serving Krishna, it will be in some mode. So how can we understand that he has pure? What is the
See, if one is serving Krishna to get something in return, at least that is called as karma mishra bhakti. Okay, you understand? Yes, at least there is bhakti element. That bhakti element will purify him. So hence it can't be called as sin. You understand?
same thing goes for other demons? If someone is thinking that I will do
For
Shiva, I will get this. Why he
so-
is not purified?
So he is not purified because there is no Krishna involved. Okay. So as soon as touch of Krishna comes, okay, right? Suppose you serve a demigod saying that this demigod is Krishna's servant, then touch of Krishna has come now, okay. But you are seeing a demigod independent of Krishna, then you get zero benefit. Right? Then it becomes material. Similarly, any living entity, you try to serve him without understanding Krishna consciousness, then it's sinful activity. But when you serve any other living entity, understanding he is part and parcel of Krishna and real service is to connect him to Krishna, then Krishna element has been added. Now, even if you have material motivation, at least there is bhakti element. Okay, it's mishrit. If you say that I will serve Krishna and in return I want something, I want prosperity, है ना. At least now you are doing bhakti. ठीक है, it's karma mishrat. It's not shuddha bhakti. But at least it can be called as sinful now. Okay, clear? So that's why Shastras encourage to serve Krishna with even material motivation. Right? Shastras don't discourage. Shastra says akama sarva kama va moksha kama udarati. अगर आप अकाम है मीन्स यू आर अ प्योर डिवोटी और आप सर्व काम पूरा मटेरियल डिजायर से भरे हुए हो, या फिर आप करो नहीं मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में एंजॉयमेंट का डिजायर नहीं है, मुझे मोक्ष का डिजायर है, मोक्ष काम, थर्ड वन मोक्ष काम, है ना. सब तीनों के लिए एक ही सॉल्यूशन है ना. क्या सॉल्यूशन है? तीव्रे न भक्ति योग है ना, तीव्र भक्ति करो आप, राइट. अच्छे से भक्ति करो. अरे तो मेरा सारा मटेरियल डिजायर फुलफिल हो जाएगा, हाँ करो भक्ति करो, मटेरियल डिजायर फुलफिल हो जाएगा. सो तो एनकरेज कर रहे हैं ना मटेरियल डिजायर्स वालों को भी कर सकते हो भक्ति, नो प्रॉब्लम. Because what will happen now, this bhakti will purify his heart also slowly, slowly. Whereas doing without connection to Krishna will not purify heart. It simply will entangle you. That's all, nothing else. Okay? And asking material things from Krishna, you know this verse? You know? Which verse? 5.19. दिष्ट्या करके सर्च करो वेदावेस किसी के पास. There's a beautiful verse. You can at least try to remember the translation of this verse. And 5th canto 19th chapter. The verse begins with Dishtya. I'm not able to remember. So, that verse says that when Krishna gives, when you ask Krishna material benediction, when Krishna gives you something, then he gives you in such a way that you will never ask any further material benediction. मतलब वो पूरा आपको इतना दे देंगे कि आप फिर आपको लगेगा कि मैं अब मेरे पास कुछ मांगने की जरूरत, दोबारा आप नहीं जाएंगे. समझ में? जैसे आप इस भौतिक जगत में किसी से 10,000 रुपये मांगो तो वो आप खत्म कर दोगे, फिर दोबारा जाओगे उनके पास. कृष्णा ऐसे फुलफिल करेंगे कि आप फुल सेटिस्फेक्शन आप नहीं चाहिए. Whereas material benedictions, when you try to get, you will never be satisfied. Rather, the greed increases. You understand? The difference between satisfying material desires going to Krishna and satisfying material desire in this material world is what? In this material world, satisfying material desire is like putting petrol in the fire. It satisfies the fire, fire becomes peaceful. Abhi ho gaya, santusht. No, fire will increase. Right? Satisfying material desire going to Krishna is like, it's like pacifying. 5.19.27, right? 5.19. Read the translation.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead fulfills the material desire of a devotee who approaches him with such motives, but he does not bestow benedictions upon the devotee that will cause him to demand more benedictions again. However, the Lord willingly gives the devotee shelter at his own lotus feet, even though such a person does not aspire for it, and that shelter satisfies all his desires. That is the Supreme Personality's special mercy.
Okay. So this jiva might have gone to Krishna not for getting shelter. कृष्ण आपका लोटस फीट नहीं चाहिए, मुझे शुद्ध भक्ति वगैरह नहीं चाहिए, मुझे बस आपके पास आया हूँ, मुझे बस ये मटेरियल बेनिडिक्शन दे दो. कृष्ण कहते हैं वो फ्री है, मेरा लोटस फीट आप फ्री है उसके साथ. ये मटेरियल बेनिडिक्शन दो, साथ ही साथ my lotus feet. So that getting that shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna makes him fully satisfied. And then he feels, now I do not want anything. Dhruv Maharaj is an example. He just felt, I don't want now. Krishna said, still you take now. Because you desire, you take. Okay, any other question? Last 4 minutes. Who is leadership? Someone is getting ready now. Okay. I'm getting ready. Okay. Yes, okay.
We are talking about pious and sinful activities the same, but I son friend has heard like we should do pious activities at the time. Then we will be like, are these four regulating principles coming in pious activities or not?
Yeah, good question. So point is that if there is no connection with Krishna, then there's nothing great about it. There are so many people following four principles, but they have such heavy envy towards Krishna. You understand? Hmm? Like Mayavadis. What example? Yeah? Like Mayavadis. So what's great about it? It's better. Who are better? In strong, strict Brahmanas in India who are Mayavadis and having very heavy envy towards Krishna, or the hippies in America who are very innocent and when Prabhupada goes and touches them and they want to practice bhakti. Who's better? Hippies are much better in that sense. A person who is very innocent and he is ready to hear from a pure devotee is much better. He may be engaged in hundreds of sinful activities, but he is much better. You understand? So hence, four level principles is not a qualification. Four level principles can easily be followed by someone who comes to Krishna consciousness. Okay, right? Okay. So hence, piety is a bondage. You can clearly see, now all these ritualistic brahmanas in India, they continuously perform piety. Does that brings them closer to Krishna? No. So we don't. You can see in Krishna's pastime also there were brahmanas who were performing yagyas, and they have proper information that this yagya is mouth of Krishna, and they have to perform. Now these cowherd boys came. You know this pastime, right? You know, these cowherd boys came. Krishna had come. He was playing there, and everyone felt hungry. भूख लग रहा है, भूख लग रहा है, खिदे पची. So then this cowherd boys, Krishna sent the cowherd boys, go to these brahmanas, they are performing the yagya, and this is the right time. In between the yagya, this is the time when they are supposed to give, they can give charity. This is the time. So please go now and ask in the name of Balaramji. Because Balaram is Kshatriya, I am a Vaishya. They consider me Vaishya and Balaram is Kshatriya because Balaramji is son of Vasudev, that everyone knows. Right? Krishna is son of Nand Maharaj, that's what people know. So hence, you ask in there, because these Brahmanas will only think these things. They will not be able to understand that Krishna is God. So you ask like that. So then they went, but they didn't. They asked that Krishna and Balaram both have come. They are hungry. Please give us food. ब्राह्मणों को कुछ फर्क ही नहीं पड़ा वो सुना एक कान से सुना दूसरे कान से निकाल दिया वो कंटिन्यू किया एज इफ दे डोंट एग्जिस्ट इतना बुरी तरह से नेग्लेक्ट किया उन्होंने so point is what these kind of ritualistic activities where how they are bringing one closer to Krishna, right? How can you say it's piety? Hence without association and devotees there is no hope and no hope. Only association and devotees creates a transformation. That's why hippies with Prabhupada are more powerful then these ritualistic brahmanas who are studying Vedas, without Prabhupada, without pure devotee, they keep studying. Whole life keep studying. Life after life keep studying. Nothing is going to happen. Okay. This is very important. That's why we should understand that by grace of Srila Prabhupada, we have crossed over so many lifetimes. Right? Jananavas said at this point that Prabhupada has saved us. Right? Yesterday, someone was asking me about how to be grateful. Who was asking? You were only asking. Someone was asking that how to be grateful for what the spiritual master has done. Okay, yeah. Okay, Vimal Arjun was asking. So I was telling that, see, if someone does, someone does some help. He was telling that if someone does some help for my body, for my health, feel very grateful. इसने मेरे को help कर दिया. But I'm not able to understand how to be grateful to Guru. So you have to understand if someone helps us help our body for some let's say for 1 hour, 2 hour, or 1-2 days, he has helped our body. We feel so grateful. We should understand what spiritual master is doing, what Prabhupada is doing in our life is he's so many birth, old age diseases. There's so many times I was supposed to be diseased, I was supposed to die. Death is such a pain, right? So much I was supposed to suffer, and all that has been shrunk that in this one lifetime only you finish everything and go back home back to work. What kind of help is being given by Guru? And when Guru gives Diksha, at the time of Diksha, he is taking away all your sinful reactions which you are supposed to suffer your whole life. And not whole life. Millions and millions of lifetimes you have to suffer the reactions of millions and millions of sins you have done. And on the day of Diksha, Guru is taking away, takes the whole sinful reaction. No, how can you ever repay this debt? It's impossible. What he is doing, and he's not only taking away sin, but he's also giving you the path by which no more sin, and you go back home, back to God. Wow, what an amazing thing Guru is doing. Understand? So we should be really feeling grateful, and that's why Depadaya Maharaj is saying that statement that I'm simply trying to repay my debt. That's why a devotee just keeps on serving. There's no end to his service. Someone was asking how to increase my service attitude. So how to increase service attitude? By contemplating on this and that what I have received, how can I repay? I can't repay it. Let me just keep trying, keep trying. Okay? Okay. So don't be attracted to this thing. That's why Narad Muni also in first canto, fifth chapter, he's heavily condemning, our Vyasadeva for giving in Vedas all these different rituals. What's the use of all these rituals? It's not going to bring one closer to Krishna. Technique is to bring, but without devotee association, nothing is going to happen. Right? Only a piety, mode of goodness increasing. Mode of goodness is very good for Krishna consciousness, but if Krishna is not there, then mode of goodness is waste. Right? But you want to steadily practice Krishna consciousness, you should come to mode of goodness. Right? But without Krishna consciousness, all these things are sin only. That's why Prabhupada is very heavily and directly saying. And this is quotation, this is based on this verse, which we just now discussed it. Yagyarthat karmanu anyatra loko yam karma bandhana. It's not yagyarthat. It's not for Krishna's pleasure. It's not for serving Krishna. Then it is bandhana. It is sin only. Okay? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You can more feelingly say what more feelingly say what? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What Prabhupada has given us, we should understand.